A day of a caravan on the Silk Road. The dawn light spread a golden blanket over the desert. The long caravan began to move slowly. The camel bells chimed in a steady rhythm. Each sound echoed far across the vast steppe. Merchants rubbed their sleepy eyes and prepared for the journey. The bags filled with silk were carefully secured. The caravan leader checked the direction and stepped forward. Footprints were gradually left behind on the sand. A morning chill lingered in the air, but everyone knew the heat of the day was yet to come. As the sun rose higher, the desert grew hotter. The camels moved forward with patience. The merchants spoke to one another in brief exchanges, while some remained silent, lost in thought along the way. The wind kicked up the sand, scattering fine grains into their eyes. A young man gazed in wonder at the infinity of the desert. An elder merchant shared many secrets of this ancient path with him. His stories painted pictures of distant cities and bustling markets. The delicate rustle of silk fabrics reached their ears, a sound that seemed like a symbol of wealth and hope. The merchants shared bread and toward noon, the caravan made a brief stop. Everyone sought out shade and sat down to rest. The water jars were opened with care. Every drop felt more precious than gold. The merchants shared bread and dried fruits. One laughed while recounting stories from the road, while others lay in silence, staring up at the sky. The blue sky seemed infinite. The cries of birds could only be heard from afar. Though the rest was short, it gave everyone renewed strength. The caravan set off once again. The sun reached its highest point, and the hot air appeared to shimmer in waves. Yet the caravan did not stop. The merchant's goal lay ahead, and they took every step with hope. One merchant remembered his family. Another thought of the profits awaiting him at the upcoming market. A third dreamed of seeing new cities. Each one carried their own story within their heart. Suddenly, a small oasis appeared in the distance. The members of the caravan looked toward it with hope. As they drew closer, the green trees became clearer. The faint sound of water could be heard. Everyone's spirits lifted. Even the camels quickened their pace. Upon reaching the oasis, the people breathed a sigh of relief. The cool water refreshed their faces, and the shade of the trees provided a sanctuary. Even if only for a short time, this place felt like paradise. After the rest, the caravan set off once again. The sun began to dip toward the west. The sky was painted in shades of pink and purple, and the desert landscape took on a different kind of beauty. Long shadows stretched across the sand. In the evening silence, the camel bells turned into a unique melody. The merchants watched this moment in silence. Some made a wish in their hearts, while others gave thanks for the day that had passed. As night fell, the caravan stopped for the night. A fire was lit, and people gathered around it. The flames of the fire painted their faces with a warm glow. The day's exhaustion was slowly forgotten. One merchant began to tell an ancient legend, and the others listened with great interest. The story spoke of heroes in far-off lands. Some burst into laughter, while others drifted into deep thought. The silk fabrics moved gently in the wind, making a soft rustling sound. This sound blended perfectly with the silence of the night. In the night sky, the stars shone brightly. The moonlight gave the sand a silver hue. The desert had transformed into a completely different world. The cold air began to spread slowly. The merchants wrapped themselves in their warm clothes. The camels lay down quietly, resting on the ground. The embers of the fire began to slowly fade away. Each person was left with their own thoughts. One thought of tomorrow's journey. Another missed their loved ones at home. And another sought the meaning of this life. But there was one thing that united them all. It was the road. It was hope. It was the dream that led them forward. As the night deepened, the silence grew stronger. Even the wind slowly died down. The caravan fell into a deep sleep. But their journey was not yet over. Tomorrow, another long road awaited them. The sun will rise again. The sound of the bells will be heard again. And once more the rustle of silk will tell stories full of life. Light glided slowly over the ancients, the mystery of the Library of Alexandria. The morning light glided slowly over the ancient city. The great library, located in the heart of Alexandria, stood in silence. Its high walls seemed to hold the secrets of centuries within. The doors appeared heavy and imposing. Anyone who stepped inside would immediately find themselves in another world. It felt as if time itself moved more slowly here. Inside the library, the faint scent of papyrus drifted through the air. This scent was like the breath of an ancient era. Countless scrolls were neatly arranged on the shelves, each one preserving the history of an entire world. Scholars worked in silence, absorbed in their tasks. The sound of a pen touching papyrus could be heard, a sound that felt like the natural melody of the silence itself. A young scholar sat carefully transcribing a new text. An infinite thirst for knowledge shone in his eyes. From a distance, an elderly teacher watched him. He too had started exactly like this long ago. Over time, he had come to understand the true depth of knowledge. Every line and every letter mattered, for they were the bridges leading to the future. Sunlight streamed through the window, dancing with the specks of dust. This sight lent a singular beauty to the library. Each beam seemed to bring the spirit of past centuries into the light. The pages of the manuscripts rustled softly. With every opening, a new secret was unveiled. Some texts were steeped in philosophy, while others whispered mysteries of the stars. In one corner, astronomers were studying celestial maps. They carefully recorded the movements of the stars. In another area, physicians discussed methods of healing. In every section, a different branch of knowledge thrived. Yet, they were all united by a single purpose: the search for truth. The library was not just a place of knowledge, it was a spiritual sanctuary. Anyone who came here would be transformed. Their thoughts would expand, and their perspective would deepen. Every question opened the way to a new one. Sometimes answers remained elusive, but the quest for discovery never ceased. One day, a traveler from a distant land entered the library. He had journeyed a long way, carrying many questions in his heart. He gazed at the shelves in wonder. The wealth gathered here was more precious than gold. He opened a manuscript, and the words within captivated him instantly. As time passed, more and more people gathered at the library. Each one sought to expand their knowledge. Some wrote, some read, and others reflected. Yet, everyone maintained the silence through a wordless agreement. This place had a law of its own. Toward evening, the sunlight began to fade. The light streaming through the windows slowly dimmed. Yet, life in the library did not stop. Lamps were lit, casting a soft and warm glow. The scholars continued their work. Even the night could not bring them to a halt. The rustle of manuscripts was clearly heard in the silence of the night. With every page turned, it felt as if a piece of time itself had shifted. This place served as a link between the past and the future. Every written word reached out toward eternity. But the library held a mystery of its own. Some texts had vanished. Others remained unopened. Some were written in a language that defied understanding. These puzzles weighed on the minds of the scholars. They strove to find the solutions, but the answers were not always within reach. Perhaps that is the true secret of the library. Not all knowledge is meant to be fully revealed. Some must be left to time, and some will only open to those who truly seek it. As the night deepened, the library grew even quieter. The scholars gradually departed, but their labor remained. Within the pages of papyrus, the traces of ink, and the depths of thought. The Library of Alexandria was not merely a building, it was like a living organism. It breathed, it preserved, it taught, and its mystery remains unsolved to this day.